Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dockery Docket podcast. So last week, I made an episode talking about the John Jay situation with his terrible text messages. And right after that story broke, another story broke about young Republicans and a group chat that was released about their text messages, which were also terrible and vile. At that time, my episode about the John Jay situation was already completed or almost done, so I didn't have time to talk about it, so I decided to make this short little video describing what happened with the young Republicans, so I have all my bases covered. And with that, enjoy. So my initial reaction to seeing these different text messages from this group of young Republicans was, why on earth are you doing this? Why are you trying to make all of us Republicans look bad? The left already thinks that we're terrible, evil, racist Nazis, and you are just adding fuel to that fire. Why would you do that? Now, I know that there were some people in this group chat that were probably just trying to be edgy. They were trying to make jokes. They were trying to have fun, but still, saying that you like Hitler, saying that you want people to go into a gas chamber and talking about the showers, referring to Auschwitz and the Holocaust, that's really not a good thing to talk about. These people in this group chat were talking about the murder of their political opponents, which can cause political violence. And it is also something that I do not want in this party at all. I don't want Nazis, I don't want fascists, I don't want racists in this party, because that's not what I believe this party is. So what did the leader of the Young Republicans do? Well, he came out just like every other time a Republican has done something like this, and he apologized and said that they were going to do better. As he wrote, "We are appalled by the vile and inexcusable words revealed in the political article published yesterday." It goes on to say, "Those involved must immediately resign from all Young Republican organizations." Now, I agree with that. People should lose their jobs because of what they were saying, because what they were saying was wrong. What they were saying was terrible. What they were saying was evil and could cause more political violence. However, this is where things start to get a little bit confusing when you compare this situation to the John Jay situation. I don't support the text messages. I called them out. I'm saying that those people should be fired and canceled for what they did. They should go. And other Republicans have been saying that as well. Even the young Republican leader has been saying that. My question, though, is why is it that Republicans always have to apologize for what they say? Someone accuses us of racism or being a fascist or being a terrible person, and what is our instant reaction? Oh my goodness! I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Even though you know that you're not a racist, even though you know you're not a fascist, even though you know you're not a Nazi, still we apologize. Still we say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, or whatever. And now it's different if you say something that is racist or fascist, but some people just label us as a fascist or a racist just because of the way that we look. Don't apologize for that. If you say something wrong, then yes, apologize. But don't apologize for someone saying, oh, you're white, you must be racist. Oh, you're a Republican, you must be fascist. That's wrong. You should not apologize for that because it's not true. And like I already said, there are a lot of similarities between this story and the John Jay story. However, with the John Jay story, the left came and rallied behind him. After the text messaging scandal, his approval rating actually went up. There was no apology until John Jay actually got on stage at a debate and actually apologized. And once again, people on the Democratic side were saying, oh, well, yes, the text messages were terrible. Yes, they were horrible. But he's still a good guy. We have to vote for him because if we don't vote for him, then we might get a terrible, evil fascist into the AG spot in Virginia. And then they started blaming Republicans, saying that Republicans are blowing this story up. The Republicans are making this story bigger than what it actually is. Why aren't we doing that with these text messages? It's just a bunch of kids. They're just being stupid. We could say that. We could say, oh, it's no big deal. But instead we're saying, hey, what those guys did is wrong. What those people did is wrong and they should be fired and they should be kicked out. And I mean, it's crazy that this story about a man running for Virginia Attorney General barely got any news coverage. But the story about a group of young Republicans making text messages and being stupid got international attention. Every single Republican, including myself, has to call this out. Every single Republican has to apologize for what these people said. Every single Republican has to do this, that, or whatever. And the Democrats? Oh, well, the AG just said something. It's no big deal. And even the young Republicans came out and called this out and said, this is wrong. This is not what we want. This is not what our party believes in. And even though the young Republicans called it out and they said, hey, this language that we are seeing right now is terrible, and we are going to get to the bottom of this and make sure that we get rid of the people who are antagonizing these other people to start messaging like this. But still, that's not good enough. And I mean, I think that JD Vance's tweet is correct. I think that the John Jay text messages are way worse than the text messages of these young Republicans. I can also agree that both of these text message threads were terrible and horrible and should be condemned by everyone. All of this shouldn't be a part of our politics. Calling for the death or murder of someone just because they are on a different side than you is wrong no matter how you slice it. Some people on the right did the right thing, and they called it out and they said, this is wrong and we're going to get to the bottom of this. However, the Democrats just continue to defend the same people over and over again. And if we're going to start apologizing for what we post on social media or in different message threads, then where is my apology about all of the people on the left who were praising and cheering when Charlie Kirk died? Democrats can't clutch pearls when a group chat of young Republicans is released, but also support John Jay and the people that were happy that Charlie Kirk was murdered. If you are going to call one thing out, then you have to call everything else out. And with that, I just want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Dockery Docket. And until next time, like my mom always says, be good, be kind, be loving, goodbye.